Hi everybody and welcome back to another week of family meals at the Family Seesaw. So tonight is Thursday night and I've got a pork chop sort of bake tonight with some roasted, these are new potatoes just halved and then done in the Actifryer, and steamed vegetables. For the pork chops I just browned them in the pan for about 5 minutes on each side. They're quite thin. I put them in a casserole dish with some sliced up apples, poured about 150 mils or so of vegetable stock over it, put them in the oven for on quite a high temperature, just over 200 degrees C, for about 15 minutes. Then took them out and I sprinkled over some crumbled up blue cheese, and then back in the oven for a couple of minutes just to melt the blue cheese. So yep, fairly simple. Could do it one pan because you could actually partially roast the potatoes in the oven, and then once they were perhaps about 20-25 minutes, put the pork chops, apples on the top, pour over the stock, and then continue to roast the whole meal together for about another 15-20 minutes. So you could do it that way. I didn't because I had a full pack of pork chops. I had a pack of six, because I forgot to separate it out before I put it in the freezer. So I had 6 pork chops to cook, and I thought if I put potatoes underneath they might not get fully cooked through, so I cooked them separately, but you could easily do this all in one pan. So Caleb's already got his because we're a little bit late getting to dinner tonight, and I'm just about to go eat mine. Tony's not back from the gym yet, so there's plenty of leftovers for him for when he gets back to make up his plate. Hi everybody, so it's Friday evening and we've got a family favourite for dinner tonight, a brinner, so breakfast for dinner. So this is Caleb's plate. He decided he wanted 1 fried egg and 1 boiled egg, so he's got both. He's got 2 of the little chipolata sausages, a piece of bacon, and some of these are just chopped up potatoes. I put them in the Actifryer with like half a tablespoon of oil and some seasoning, and they just get lovely and crispy. They take about half an hour. They really are absolutely delicious little potatoes. We always have those when we have the brinner sort of breakfast for dinner meal. And he's also got some ketchup with his. Then there's mine. I've practically got the same as Caleb actually. I've got 2 fried eggs. The boys both like their fried eggs where the yolk is not soft. I like mine runny. But other than that, it's the same meal. 2 chipolatas for me. I've got a piece of bacon, some of those potatoes, and then Tony and I both have baked beans. Caleb doesn't like beans, so he's not having that. Tony's also got fried eggs. He often has an omelette when we have brinner, but he's chosen to have fried eggs tonight as well. So he's got 3 fried eggs, and then he'll have bacon, sausage, potatoes and beans. So yeah, comfort food Friday night supper. Not a meal we get to eat very often unless we're on holiday, so we do put it into the menu fairly regularly just to have had that kind of full English breakfast type of meal. But this is the first time we've had it since before Christmas, so looking forward to dinner tonight. Hi everybody, so it's Saturday evening and tonight we're making sticky chicken, and I just wanted to show you sort of how we prep this. So in here I've got chicken thighs, bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. You could use drumsticks, could use leg portions. It is better done with chicken on the bone because you need to cook it for quite a while to get the caramelization that you want from this. So it is far better to cook it with a chicken on the bone, but you could use chicken breast and then just cook it for a short amount of time. But this is one of the big packs of chicken thighs. This is about the right amount for us because I'll eat 2 thighs, Caleb will probably eat 2, and that leaves 4 for Tony. So ideal serving size for us in that we don't have leftovers from this. Then in this bowl I've got a mixture. I've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and the olive oil stops it from sticking and sticking to the pan when you put it in the oven. Then I've got about half a cup of soy sauce. Now we use the reduced salt soy sauce, and it's if you think about the small bottles of soy sauce, it's about half of one of those, so it is quite a lot. That forms the basis, one of the 2 main bases of the flavours in this. Then I added 2 tablespoons of tomato ketchup, so just regular ketchup. I then added 3/4 cup of honey, which is quite a lot, and it gives it the sweet stickiness. Then just a little bit of garlic, so some minced garlic. We just keep the little jars of minced garlic in the fridge, so a good big teaspoon of that in there. And then didn't add any salt because obviously it's got soy sauce base. Even though we used a reduced salt one, we wouldn't want to add any more salt to it. But I did add a little sprinkle of black pepper, so a few grinds of black pepper into it. I'm just going to pour this over the chicken. I've got the oven set to about 180, and then we'll leave it to bake for about an hour with the bone-in chicken. So the chicken's really well cooked all the way through, and the sauce starts to caramelize on the chicken. And then we're going to have it with baked potatoes and salad, but I'll come back and show you how it looks when we serve it. Hi everybody, so here's our finished sticky chicken. As you can see, the chicken gets nice and browned and caramelized, and it's really quite sticky. The honey gives it that stickiness. Then I've got a baked potato with some pepper on the potato and some grated cheese. Then I've got some salad leaves and cucumber. Caleb's got the same 2 chicken thighs as me, baked potato with cheese, and he's got just cucumber. He doesn't particularly like lettuce. He sometimes has it, but not a big fan. And then he's got a little bit of ketchup for his as well. So that's our Saturday night dinner. Looks really yummy. Looking forward to tucking into this and watching a bit of Greatest Dancer. Hi everybody, so it's Sunday evening and we've got a simple Sunday roast today. So had a whole chicken, just roasted it in the oven with some mashed potatoes and some steamed vegetables. So I've got the chicken leg and the thigh portion. Caleb's got the same, but he decided he didn't want his on the bone tonight, so I've taken it off the bone for him. And he's got mash and veg as well, and some gravy. Quite a busy day for us. We were up and at 'em early this morning for rugby. Had about an hour's drive to get to rugby this morning. Caleb's in under 9s rugby, which is the first year that they do contact. So after a bit of a shaky start at the very beginning of the season where they were all a bit unsure, they've now really taken to it. So it was a super game. Caleb and a couple of his teammates played really, really well. So really adjusting well to the contact version of rugby. And he really enjoys it. He said his favourite day of the week is Sunday because he gets to go and play rugby. So yeah, it was really cold. So the temperature wasn't too bad, but it was the wind chill. I don't know how it's been where you are, but down here it's really, really blowy and windy, and that's made about a 10-degree difference to the temperature, I think. And the place where we were playing today was out on a disused airfield, so it's just completely open and nothing to shelter from the wind at all. So bit of a cold morning, but we've had a relaxing afternoon, now ready for our traditional Sunday dinner. Hi everybody, so it's Monday evening and tonight we've got a bit of an experiment inspired by something I saw. I think it was either an Instagram post or a Pinterest post that talked about combining favourite recipes into new recipes, and they had talked about buffalo chicken and lasagna. So they'd got shredded chicken in the buffalo sauce, and then they'd got it layered up with cheese and lasagna noodles. So I've gone for along that same theme. We love hot wings and buffalo wings, and we love lasagna. So I've used that format to create my own version of this. So the meat sauce is ground turkey. You could also use ground chicken, obviously, browned with some a chopped onion, chopped carrot, and a chopped stick of celery, because celery is a traditional side dish with hot wings, so buffalo wings. So it's got some celery in it as well. A little bit of garlic. Once that was all browned, the meat was browned, and I used 2 packs of mince for this because I've made a big pan of lasagna. As you can see, this is the biggest kind of regular casserole dish size. Then once it was browned, I stirred in a can of chopped tomatoes, a little bit of Italian seasoning. It is still a lasagna after all. A little bit of pepper. I didn't add any salt because of the sauce I'm using. About half a cup of water, and then you want a bottle of wing sauce, buffalo wing sauce. Now we use Frank's hot sauce for our regular hot sauce. We both like hot sauce sprinkled over food, and we use Frank's, but we do find Frank's buffalo wing sauce is really salty, and so for hot wings we use this, which is Red's buffalo wing sauce. They sell it in our Tesco's, and it is a medium heat, so it's not quite as spicy as the Frank's, but it has a third less salt. So I can't remember what it looks at, but if you look at there, per 100 grams, salt in this is 2 grams, and in the Frank sauce it is 6.5 grams, I think, so it's less than a third of the salt. Use the whole bottle of this. Again, if you're not sure about the wing seasoning, this one is not too bad, but if you're using a hotter one you might not need to use the whole bottle. But I have used the whole bottle of this one in there. So that's what makes your sauce. And then American style lasagna. So here when we make a lasagna, we often make a white, like a cheesy sauce to use for the sauce layer. Certainly if you buy pasta sauce for lasagna at the store ready made, it's a cheesy white sauce. In the States, they don't do that. They use ricotta cheese mixed with an egg and some seasoning. So I've got 2 cartons of ricotta. I've mixed that with 1 egg, some chopped parsley, flat leaf parsley, and then some crumbled up blue cheese. So blue cheese is the other piece, traditional flavour that goes with buffalo wings. So I've used that in the white layer. So then I've just layered it up. I've got meat on the bottom, then just to cover the base of the pan, then a layer of lasagna noodles, then more meat, some dollops of the ricotta cheese mixture, so it's not poured over like a sauce, you just kind of dollop it around, and then a bit of mozzarella and cheddar mixed together, and a few crumbles of blue cheese on top of that, and then you just repeat the layers. I got 2 more layers of that, so altogether I've got 3 layers of lasagna noodles with the meat and the cheese and the ricotta layer for each one. So I'm now going to put a little bit of foil over the top, pop it in the oven for about 20 minutes, take the foil off and cook it for about another 20 minutes until that top layer of cheese gets nice and gooey. And when it's all finished, I'll come back and show you how it is. And I will tomorrow let you know how it was. Okay, so into the oven it goes. Hi everybody, welcome back. So there is our finished buffalo chicken or turkey lasagna. See on the plate ready. I'm going to have a bit of salad on the side of mine. You can see in the pan there you've got the layers of lasagna with the meat sauce, the ricotta, and a little bit of mozzarella, cheddar and blue cheese layered up through it. So looks like it's turned out pretty good. The proof will be in the eating, and so we'll let you know tomorrow how it turned out. Hi everybody, so it's Wednesday evening and made something a bit different tonight. Not something different for us in terms of what I've made, but how I've made it. So a lot of people have asked me in the past about my Actifryer. So this is the one that we have. It's the Tefal one, and it's got the little timer on the top there. We had, this is the second one we've had. We had one that just, the top, the lid part ended up breaking, and we just bought a new one. We do use it a lot. And people say, well, do you just use it for chips and roasties? And if so, what's the point? I have to say the chips and the roasties are the best I've probably had, apart from those really goose fatty roast potatoes that you have, you know, at certain times of the year that are all crunchy on the outside and soft in the middle. Apart from that, they make really good roast potatoes, really good chips, really good the little diced potatoes that I make when we have Brinner. All really excellent made in here, and for me it's worth the value of the Actifryer to have those sorts of things, because actually I think they taste much better than when they're done in the oven for the most part, and you use such a tiny amount of oil that they are certainly healthier for you than when you do them in lots of oil or butter in the oven. But you can use it for lots of other things. So I sometimes cook sausages in it, I make chili in it, I make spaghetti bolognese in it, I make fajitas in it. And tonight I've made a firecracker chicken. So this is quite a common Asian style recipe. It is quite spicy, but I chopped up some chicken breast and I've had it marinating for a couple of hours when we got home from work in a firecracker sauce. Now if you Google or go to Pinterest and look for firecracker sauce or firecracker chicken, you'll find lots of different recipes you can use for it. Essentially it's chilies, so chopped red chilies. I use lime juice with mine, garlic, some ketchup, a little bit of, I use sweetener rather than sugar tonight, and then all the kind of Asian flavours, so soy sauce, some fish sauce, some oyster sauce, and you make a coating, marinate your chicken, and then you keep a little bit aside to put in the finished product. But then I put the chicken in the Actifryer, straight out of the marinade into the Actifryer, cooked it for 10 minutes. Then I added a chopped onion, a sliced onion, a little bit of a spray of cooking spray. Could add some oil if you wanted to, but I didn't because I've got the sauce in it. Cooked it for another 5 minutes, and then I added some chopped peppers, some chili flakes, some mange tout, and 100 mils of chicken stock. So that gives me kind of a saucy, you can see there is sauce in the bottom of this. And that's it. You cook it for another 10 minutes and it's all done. All done in one pan. And surprisingly, really tasty. There's obviously no coating on the chicken done this way, so I haven't used battered chicken, which firecracker chicken often does. But it's still got that kind of fried chicken taste and feel about it. So that's what we're having this evening. I've got just some plain white rice to have with it. But just another use of the Actifryer, other than just making potato style dishes or frozen food, things like that. So if you go on to the Actifryer website, or if you again look on Pinterest, there are lots and lots of variations of recipes that people have made in the Actifryer with varying amounts of success. But we do use ours for more than just potatoes, and tonight we've got firecracker chicken.